Literally stranded in Fuerteventura due to our flight being cancelled. 0 EasyJet staff in sight. Frazzled airport employees saying the next flight out is on September the 4th.
A week away.
But apparently EasyJet will only cover one night in a hotel. Who's running this? And I can't read the next little bit. You get the idea. This one currently stranded
the thing
in
is,
Gran
in fairness to
Canaria
EasyJet, it's not their fault, right? This is the air traffic control problem, but it's how they deal with it.
Yeah,
And
we'll get some advice on what your rights are if you are stranded this morning. Currently stranded in Gran Canaria Airport with absolutely no communication this time, also criticising EasyJet. Flight cancelled, people being told the next available flight's the 7th of September. Not acceptable. Lily Smith stranded in Geneva for 24 hours, maybe more. No hotel voucher. Beers cost £9 at the airport. Packaged sandwiches are £16. Lots of criticism of how this makes Britain look. Let's speak to Simon Calder and get his take on what people can do in these situations.
Simon, it's a heck of a coincidence. The busiest day for air traffic in the year, and the system goes down. Is there any talk that there was a hack involved in this?
Oh, there's lots of talk about that, Eamon, and good morning to you both. But from what I've seen over the years, when you get issues like this, they inevitably turn out to be foul-ups rather than effectively being hacked, and something went very, very badly wrong with the extraordinarily complex system that is being used by NATS, the National Air Traffic Service, and with everything working at full stretch because it is such a busy time for airline passengers. Well, the cancellations just multiplied. By midnight last night, I had counted over 1,200 flights cancelled, and that is 200,000 people waking up this morning where they didn't want to be. And I dare say a few places of work will be looking a bit empty today as people can't get home. And I'm afraid things are getting worse before they get better. British Airways and EasyJet have got around 60 cancellations each today. That represents another 20,000 or so travellers. Ryanair has cancelled 20 flights. So it's going to be very messy. And, well, the messages you heard from your viewers, stuck here till the 7th of September, that won't happen. The airline absolutely has to get you back as soon as possible, even if it has to buy a ticket on another airline. And there is no truth in any rumour that the airline only has to pay for one night's accommodation. They have to pay for your hotel if you're lucky enough to get a room. And I've just heard that Gatwick, pretty much every chair, every bit of floor has got somebody sleeping on it because people couldn't get hotel rooms. And they, of course, have to pay for meals as well, but not those £9 beers.
Gosh, yeah. And listen, we'll talk about this knock-on lasting days, possibly to the end of the week. And the timing of this, terrible with the bank holiday and the school holidays coming to an end. I mean, talk of significant disruption. That's going to be costly, isn't it, to the airlines, to the airport, to passengers?
Yeah, I mean, of course, the main impact emotionally is on all the passengers who are suffering increasing distress about being stuck. I mean, it's all very well being in Fuerteventura unless you're expected back at the office. Or indeed you're sleeping at the airport. The airlines are going to be tens of millions of pounds down for this. Nobody is going to get cash compensation because it's plainly not the airline's fault, but they do have to pay for all those hotel rooms, buying seats on other flights, and indeed losing the revenue that they would normally be earning from some extremely expensive airfares. So they are furious about this, and they want, like everybody who's stranded, they want to know exactly what it was that went wrong and Simon, what they're going to do to make sure it happen again.
So we've got passengers who want to sue the airlines. Who does the airline sue? Do they sue the National Air Traffic Services? Are they entitled to any compensation?
Well, there will be, I think, some fairly robust discussions going on. Passengers, all they can do is claim recompense for the extra costs that they incurred, and the airlines are supposed to actually provide those hotel rooms for the passengers. In practice, if you've got disruption on this scale, that is simply never going to happen. They do have to repay that money, and so they will. Apart from anything else, of course, it completely destabilizes confidence. It was going to be a tough old bank holiday Monday anyway, and to have the entire system that looks after the UK airspace go down in the middle of the day for 4 hours is pretty unthinkable, which is why this is the worst single day's disruption we have seen since those bleak old days in 2010 when the Icelandic volcano was doing its worst.
Simon, do you happen to know what time the system went down at? What time during the day? Just interested because we've got the Transport Minister on at 10 to 7 this morning. It took them a long time to reply or to come out with any sort of initiative on this.
Yeah, I mean, I started getting messages from airline people at around 11:15, and I believe that Nat's got the problem fixed by 3:15. Yes, of course, the main thing is everybody was safe. There was never any risk to passengers. But to have a contingency plan, which is basically people writing things down on pieces of paper, doesn't sound very 21st century. And I would be inviting the Transport Minister to talk about what the government plans to do to ensure that national infrastructure like this is not susceptible to some kind of systems failure at exactly the least convenient time.